Hello, data storytellers. Welcome to another episode where we'll take everything we've learned about data collection and pattern recognition and put it into action. Today, we're turning those numbers into powerful stories that can drive real change for your business. Having spent years analyzing data for small businesses, I can tell you that storytelling is what turns raw data into something everyone understands and can rally behind. Hi, I am Amaka, a data analyst with experience analyzing numbers in retail, finance, and healthcare. I am here to help the small business owners turn their data into real business power. I'll show you how to use data to boost growth, streamline operations, and make smarter decisions. You might be thinking, data, storytelling, that sounds like mixing oil and water. But here is the thing. Data on its own can be a bit dry and uninspiring, unless you're a data nerd like me. But when you combine it with a story, data becomes a motivator, a guide, and even a problem solver. Picture this. You're strolling through a hustling marketplace, ready to talk shop with a seasoned local trader. These folks are masters of their crafts, building impressive wealth over the years with nothing more than intuition, hustle, and maybe a little bit of luck. You approach them as a data analyst, brimming with enthusiasm, and start talking about data, charts, and analytics. Their eyes narrow. Data, charts, numbers. They mutter, like, what are you talking about? As if you've just offered to sell them a pet rock. Now, here is the kicker. The only numbers they care about are the ones that turn into cold hard cash. If it doesn't translate to money, they're not listening. You might as well be speaking in riddles. But the moment you show them how those confusing charts can boost their turnover, suddenly you're speaking their language. Still, don't expect them to roll out the red carpet for technology. These traders have seen success over the years, decades even, without a single spreadsheet or algorithm. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They'll grumble. Winning them over means showing them that tech isn't here to replace their instincts, but to supercharge them. And maybe, just maybe, they will consider trading in their trusty abacus for something with a power button. Let's be real here. Numbers alone don't get people excited, but when those numbers come with a story, they become relatable, they hit home, and most importantly, they inspire action. Imagine telling your team, last month our loyal customers dropped by 20%. Now, that's a story everyone can understand, and it's one that gets people thinking about solution. Using storytelling, we can make data actionable and clear for everyone to understand. From your shop floor team to your investors, we'll break down the steps so you can tell a story that everyone in your business can get behind. Here is the framework I use with businesses to turn data into a story. I've got problem, insights, solution, and action. Each part has its role, and when they come together, they make your data powerful and relatable. Every good story has a problem. In your data story, the problem is the issue or challenge that comes up in your data. For instance, maybe sales dipped in a specific region, or a product didn't sell as expected, or perhaps your customer retention is lower than you had hoped. Imagine a bakery that notices a 30% decrease in morning customers over the last 3 months. That's a problem. A decline in foot traffic. It's a clear problem that you can see. It's like a detective story. Instead of who stole the cookie, you're asking yourself, why did my customers stop buying my cookies at 9 a.m.? Next, you need to reveal the insight. This is where your data detective work comes into play. Look at your patterns and see what the numbers are saying about the problem. Maybe your customer data shows that people are going for healthier breakfast options. Or perhaps a new coffee shop just opened nearby. For instance, a bakery in Accra finds that the morning crowd has started frequenting a trendy juice bar nearby. Yes, a juice bar, the nemesis of pastry lovers everywhere. Turns out, people wanted kale smoothies and not croissants. Whoever knew? Now, we get to the solution. This is where you take that insight and turn it into a plan. If customers are looking for healthier options, maybe it's time for you to introduce a line of low sugar, gluten-free pastries, for instance, or a grab and go fruit bar. Example, a bakery can decide to add a new line of healthier breakfast options to win back the morning crowd that is already losing. Finally, let's talk action. Action is the step where you take the solution and make it happen. This part of the story is very critical. It's where the ideas turn into results. Maybe you start with a trial of your new breakfast line, advertise it to your local area, and track how many customers are coming back. For instance, the bakery can begin promoting its new healthy options with special morning deals. Track sales over the next few months and see a steady increase in that morning foot traffic that it was losing initially. That's it. Problem, insights, solution, action. With this framework, you are not just reading numbers, you're understanding what they mean, planning a response, and tracking success. It's not about having data, it's about making that data work for you. Now, let's talk about delivering the story. As a data analyst, I have seen it all, from boardrooms full of executives to a small team meeting at a roadside kiosk. Each group has a different perspective, and it's essential to frame your story accordingly. For instance, owners and managers want to know the impact on the business, bottom line stuff, that kind of thing. They need a summary of what the data means for growth, costs, and revenue. For them, focus on key trends, financial impact, and growth potential, and that's it for them. For instance, we notice a 30% drop in morning foot traffic over 3 months. We've introduced healthier options to bring these customers back, and initial results show a 10% improvement in sales this month. This is what they would like to hear. The next is your team. Your team needs motivation and clear action steps. Instead of overwhelming them with data, focus on what actions they can take to contribute to the solutions. Example, you can tell them, guys, we've introduced some new healthy breakfast items to bring more people in the morning. Let's make sure we're mentioning it to these customers and getting feedback on what they like. For investors want to see potential and growth. For them, show how your data-driven actions improve the business and add value. For instance, since identifying the decline in morning traffic and implementing new options, we've seen a 10% improvement in sales this month. We project a 25% increase in monthly revenue within the next 6 months. Suddenly, those investors are interested. You don't need to complicate data to tell a compelling story. Basic metrics like customer satisfaction scores, average sales size, or repeat purchase rate can be just as powerful. Let's say you own a small shop and you're tracking average sales size. 1 month, you notice it's been increasing consistently. That's a great story. One that shows your customers are finding more value in each visit. Maybe it's because your new product selection or improved customer service. Use that as the basis for a story on what's working well and look into what could make it even better. Here is an exercise for you. Take one key metrics from your own business. Maybe it's your monthly sales, customer retention rate, or even social media engagement. Now, try to frame it using the storytelling approach that we've talked about. Let's say you choose customer retention. Ask yourself, what is the problem? Are customers not returning? What's the insight? Maybe new customers aren't signing up for loyalty programs. What's the solution? Encourage sign-ups with small incentive. What's the action? Train your team to promote it to every new customer. In no time, you will have your own mini data story that's clear, actionable, and ready to share with your team or stakeholders. Data storytelling doesn't have to be complicated. Whether you're running a small business in a hot, bustling African city or managing an online shop, knowing how to frame data into a story can drive decisions that impact growth, efficiency, and customer satisfaction. At the end of the day, it's all about making data work for you and translating it into a language that everyone can understand. So next time you see a drop in sales or a spike in customer complaints, don't just scratch your head and hope for the best. No, use data, craft your story, and take action. In our next episode, we're diving into predictive analysis. So you can not only see where you've been, but where you're going. Until then, keep telling those data stories, and remember, in the world of business, every number has a tale to tell. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. If you're facing any challenges with data collection or have topics you would like me to cover in the future videos, let me know and I will consider hosting a session on it. If you're interested, as I always say, in consulting with me on how to use data to scale your business, just mention it in the comment section and my team will reach out to you. If you found my video helpful, don't forget to like and don't also forget to subscribe for more updates. Until then, stay tuned.